Hi, this is Shreyang Siddharth and welcome to the next module of this course of Java Fundamentals and Basics. In this module, we will simply explore the strings in Java. So, we can create strings with the help of three main classes, such as the string class itself, string buffer and string builder. So, we will explore each of these classes in detail in this module itself. So, first of all, let's get introduced with what is actually the string in Java. So here, let us keep an objective of to print hello as a string inside the output console. So first, we have char c equal to h. Now this character variable c or this data type can only hold one character, that is either h or either e or either l or either o. So it can simply print one character at a time, that is either of these. So here this character c simply prints h in the output console. But now let us take another example of character array that can store the list of characters such as HELLO. So in the output console, if we print this array, then it will simply print out hello in the output. So this completes our objective of printing hello in the output. But now here comes the role of strings in Java. So instead of defining the character array, we can simply define the string object str equal to hello. Now here you can notice this string object can contain the sequence of characters, that is hello. So in the output we will get hello. So we can say in short that this string object contains the sequence of characters, or you can say it is also equivalent to some of the properties that this character array bears. And now proceeding forward, we have one more statement of string str equal to new string hello. In the constructor, here we are passing hello string. So in the output again, we get hello as the output. So this is another way to define the string object in Java. So these are the two ways. And now proceeding forward, we have another class of string builder class. So we have string builder sb equal to new string builder, and in the constructor we pass hello as the string. And at last we have one more class of string buffer equal to new string buffer, and here again pass hello string as a parameter. So at the end, I would like to define the string in Java as the string is the object that contains the sequence of character values, and it can be created with the help of this string class, string builder and string buffer. Now the concept of string builder and string buffer, we will explore it separately in our upcoming videos. So as of now, in this video, let us just focus on the strings in Java, that is the normal string class in Java. So here in this slide, we have the string, string buffer and string builder. So as already said, the strings in Java can be created with the help of string class, string buffer and string builder. So what are the basic differences between these three classes? Now this string class is actually immutable, and these two, string buffer and string builder, are actually mutable in nature. Now what do we mean by the immutable and mutable properties of these classes? So here we go. The immutable can be defined as the strings that cannot be modified, and the mutable string is the one that can be changed or modified once initialized. So in case of string class, we cannot modify the string once it is initialized. But in case of string buffer and string builder, we can change the value of the string anytime we want to change to. So this is the advantage of using the string buffer and string builder. Now, among the string buffer and builder, what are the basic differences? Again, we will check it out in our upcoming videos. So as of now, let us only focus on this immutable string. So how do we create the strings in Java with the help of string class? So here there are two ways, using the string literal and by using the new keyword. So by using the string literals method, we can simply use string str equal to welcome or any string that you want to define. Now by using the new keyword, you can simply use this statement string str equal to new string, and as a parameter simply pass the string that you want to create. Now what are the basic differences between these two? Let's check it out in this slide. Now before coming to this, let us first understand few concepts, such as in Java we have the heap memory. So whenever we run any application, there is some heap memory that contains all the Java objects inside it, be it be the string object or any box type object such as integer, floats, or any other custom objects such as the object of employees, student class, etc. So inside the heap memory, we contains all the Java objects that we are using inside our application. Now inside the heap memory, we have the pool of string constants. So what does this string constant pool stands for? I will let you know shortly. So let's come to our point, how to create the string object in Java. So first we have the method of using the literals and second one using the new keyword. So let us create the string object using the literals. So here we have string str equal to Tony. Now as soon as this statement is executed, we have the Tony string created inside the string constant pool inside the heap memory. So here we have the string Tony present inside the pool of string constants. And now here we have string str. Now this str is actually the reference variable. So here outside the heap we have the reference variable created. So this reference variable will simply point to this string object created inside this pool. And now proceeding forward, suppose I create one more string 1 equal to Robert. So again this Robert will be created inside the string constant pool Robert. So again we have another reference variable of str1 pointing to this object of string Robert. And now again we have one more string str2 equal to Robert. Now if you notice here, this Robert and this Robert is totally same. So when we create a new reference variable equal to Robert, then this time it is not going to create a new instance of this string class. So here what it will do, it will simply create a new reference variable of str2 down the side here. So this str2 will simply point to the same object of Robert. So the Java virtual machine, what it do, it simply checks for the value. If this Robert is present inside the string constant pool, then it will simply make the str2 reference variable point to the same object that has a value of Robert. So the str1 and str2 now together points to the same object of string that has the value of Robert. Now what about the new keyword? Now let us come to this part. So here again let us create string str3 equal to new string Sam. Now this time when this statement is executed, a new string object is created, no doubt, but this time it will be created inside the heap memory, not inside the pool. So here we have the Sam string object created inside the heap memory. And now once again we have the str3 reference variable pointing to this Sam string object. And now proceeding forward, we have str4 equal to new string Sam. Now this time the Java virtual machine, if you create a new string object using the new keyword, so this time the Java virtual machine will simply create a new instance of string that has the value of Sam and it will simply put it inside the heap memory. And again it will have str4 as the reference variable pointing to the Sam string object. So if you compare these two methods of using the literals and using new keyword, you will find in case of literals, if the value is same, that is Robert, then all the reference variable str1 and str2 will simply point to the same string object. But in case of using the new keyword, no matter how many objects you create with the help of this statement, if it contains the same value, then each time it is simply going to create a new object. That is str3 pointing to Sam and str4 pointing to Sam as well. But this time it is another Sam, not the same Sam. And now let us proceed and check out the various string methods that we can use in case of string class. So here we have string str equal to hello. So if we print this str value, then in the output we will get hello, right? So let us now proceed and check out the methods, such as if we print str dot to uppercase, then in the output we will get all the characters in the uppercase. And similarly, we have str dot to lowercase. So it will simply print the value in the lowercase, hello. Now you must be thinking, string is immutable, that is, you cannot modify the strings. So here let me tell you, using these methods actually creates a new object of string that has a new value of hello in the lowercase and hello in the uppercase. So here, if you still execute this line of code, println str, then again you will get the original hello in the output. Because we are not actually modifying the original hello, we are simply creating a new object by using these methods, right? And here str.char at 1, so index of 1. So the character present at the index of 1 inside this string. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So at the index of 1 we have E present. So we simply print character E in the output. And now let us create one more string str2 equal to hello. Now please notice that here hello and hello are same. So this str2 and this str is simply going to point to the same object that has the value of hello, right? Now let us proceed and execute this statement str3 equal to new string hello. Now this time this hello will be created as a separate object inside the heap memory, and this will be a different object compared to this hello and this hello. Fine. In the previous slide we already saw this. And now if we compare str equal to str2 by using the comparison sign, then it will simply return true because they simply points to the same string objects. So this str2 and this str are equal both in terms of value and both in terms of object as well. But now if we compare str with str3 and this str3 was actually created by using the new keyword, then it will simply return false because they are actually two different objects. So please make a note here. Two different objects with the same value are not same, so it will simply return false. And now proceeding forward, if we use the equals method str dot equals str3, but this time it will simply return true because here we are comparing the values, not the object. So please make a note here as well. The equals method only compares the string value, not the object. So that is why in this case it has simply returned false, and in this case it has simply returned true. So this was all about the introduction video of strings in Java. There are hell lot of methods present inside the string class that I have not discussed it here. I will discuss it in our upcoming videos or in the next video. So please stay tuned. Catch you guys in the next video. This is Shrakes from SmartHerd signing off, and please subscribe to this channel and like the video as well. Thank you and have a good day.